Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Fire Alarm Tech 9 here, and I've just recorded a bunch of videos, and all of them just were either too long because I rambled, which I'm doing right now. I tend to do that whenever recording, and yeah. So I'm kind of going to just tell a story today because I have no idea what I'm going to do. So the story will basically be, or actually, I'll probably do three things in this video. So I'll quickly go over how I got this panel. I'll quickly go over a story that happened while I was in elementary school when this panel was used at that school about like people who don't know anything about fire alarms, and just did I say how this thing was used when it was in the building and kind of how it was configured? So I'll start off just kind of as a quick story on how I got this panel. So my brother told me that his school, which is where this school was, or where this panel was, which was my elementary school, was getting their system replaced. Like my middle school at the time was getting replaced. Now it's already been replaced now. I tried to get stuff from it, but it's a long story on how that didn't end up happening. So basically what he told me, this was the night of my spring concert. Actually, I could tell you if I had my computer over here exactly what day this happened. It was sometime in early June, and I placed an email to the principal of that school and basically said, I'm interested in the panel, or in the stuff that was at the school. I collect fire alarms and that kind of stuff, and I don't have a panel yet, so I'm kind of interested in getting one. And the next day they got back to me and said, okay, I'll see what I can do. I'll talk to the nice people who are replacing the system. So long story short, we kind of emailed back and forth between each other, and we decided on, or he got the panel saved in a bunch of devices over there for me. So basically the day of the ice cream social at that school, which since my brother attended there, we were allowed to go, or attends there, we went, and it was super funny. So I was basically like, okay, I bet you they're doing work on the fire alarm system right now. I want to see if I can get into the building and talk to the people and see if I can get some of the stuff and bring it home. So I went into the school, which you could only go into if you needed to go to the bathroom, and I just kind of waited there for a couple minutes, and I saw one of the custodians pass by. I talked to them for a second. They were like, sure, and they asked them if I could get into the building to talk to them, or talk to the electricians who were there, and they were like, sure, and they let me in. So you had to slip between the tables that they used to block the doors from opening all the way, and we went in, and I basically just kind of peered around and then saw someone and just said hello and talked to them and explained the situation, and they were like, are you the person who called our office earlier today? Because I actually called there to find out stuff about my school, and I was like, yes, and it was like, oh, and I also talked to the principal here about getting stuff from here, and he was like, oh, I was wondering if there was two Kevins who are actually doing this, or who are from the same school district who are asking kind of the same thing. And I was like, nope, I called, and I also, or I'm here now. And they were like, okay, so they showed me around kind of what they were doing. It was basically they were just tearing out all the old devices from around the school, and they brought me back into the boiler room, and they showed me a box of pull stations and a bell and a couple other stuff, and they were like, we've got a bunch of trash cans around the school. You can go around and look for stuff if there's anything you want. And we also had this NAC extender, which is right here, and the panel, and it was sitting there. So cell reception is horrible in that school, so I went out the front door and propped it open, which you're not really allowed to do. And I texted my mom to come in So she came around to the front of school. I let her in, of course with permission, and we went down and we went into the boiler room, and I showed her what it was, and she basically said, "You can take the box today. The panel's kind of big and the neck extender's big, so I don't want to grab that at the moment because it's big and we don't have space in the car. So grab that stuff." And we left the ice cream social. We've been there for like an hour and a half, and it was great. So got ice cream, got this stuff, and secured the panel. So about maybe 2 weeks later, I sent the principal another email, basically finding out I can come, or find out on a Tuesday I could come, and he was like, "Great, I'll see you there, or you can come really whenever you want. After school, just send me an email about it." And we agreed, okay, I can come that day, and came in. He had a meeting with teachers, so it was supposed to be there for 4, so we got there. He ended up having a meeting with teachers, so at about 4:35, we went, and he actually had this thing sitting in his office with a door, and he had this, or the neck extender, and a bunch of other stuff, just kind of sitting in his office, and it was like, "Here we go." So we picked it up. So he grabbed the door, or he grabbed the dress panel, and he brought that out. I grabbed the door, and then I grabbed the neck extender, and then me and him picked up this panel. This panel's pretty heavy. If you look down there, this is a 2 unit, so it's 55 pounds. So we carried this out, put it in the car, and off I went that day, brought it up here, and it's kind of been here since because it's not the easiest thing to move, and I don't have a spot on the wall for it yet. So now, how this panel was used in the building was basically, or the zones say it all. Zone 1 and 2 were used for the older pool stations, and they added on the flow, these things, and all this, and yeah, so really short here. And the original programming on this panel was only switch 4, which made zone 8 water flow, which of course zone 8 is the smoke detector, so it had no meaning behind it, right? Oh wait, switch 4 on block 1. So yeah, basically that wasn't even programmed correctly. But it basically said that on zone 8 was that. Now the really quick story. So I was in 3rd grade, and I had at the time I was like, that was why I was really into fire alarms. It was like all the time, just like that's what I lived and breathed it. Actually, think no, that was the year after I really started this YouTube channel, and basically what happened is my friend got pushed, and when she got pushed, she hit a stopper with a horn in it and knocked the cover off, and the educational assistant, they panicked and started like yelling at her and like getting super pissed off about it. I tried to explain to them that it was okay, it was only the stopper and you just had to put the cover back on and nothing would happen because the alarm didn't actually go off. But they had no idea that a honk noise, like a buzz, was different from a let me see if I can make this. Well, from the bells that were in the school. There's only like 3 true alerts that were mounted in the back of the building. So it was mostly bells in the building. So I tried to explain it, and like a bunch of people were like, "Just let Kevin knows and he can fix it." But I'm Kevin, if you didn't know, and they were fine, and they had no idea. So we had to like go out to recess, and the thing was just apparently it went off for like half the day, and they called the monitoring company, and they came out and they were like, "All you had to do was put the cover back on, and then it would stop." And so yeah, pretty funny. Okay, so this video is 10 minutes long. So, like, yay, if I actually had an account, I could add a bunch, or a, AdSense account, I could put a bunch of ads in this and make a ton of money, even though I probably couldn't make a ton of money. But I could do that, which nobody likes. So, thanks for watching. If you like this, give it a like. Leave some constructive criticism or any ideas you have for me in the comments, or just have a discussion down there. And subscribe if you're new. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.